Well, joining me now to analyze the recent declaration of a national emergency on food security by the president and propose actionable solutions to help Nigeria achieve sustainable food sufficiency is an agriculture specialist and former president of the All Farmers Association of Nigeria, Kabir Ibrahim. Architect Kabir Ibrahim, thank you so much for joining us on Newsnight. Well, it's not the first time that the president will be declaring a state of emergency on food security. In July 2023, he did so, and I'm wondering whether that declaration has it even had any impact at all on Nigeria's food, situation. And now here we are with another state of emergency declared.
State of emergency is work in progress.
Right.
But let me correct something that you just said. I'm not former president of.
Okay.
I'm still the president of All Farmers Association.
Of All Farmers Association.
I was at this.
Apologies for that.
You saw the report on the agricultural sector working group. I was there. I made a speech.
Yes, you did.
So I'm still the president.
And I know you emphasize the smallholder farmers. We will definitely come to that.
Now let's get to the question you asked. The president declared a state of emergency on food security in July 2024. And again, he has now mentioned it again. But I can tell you that we have noticed some, maybe reduction on the rate of inflation for about 2-3 months.
Are you talking about the headline inflation of food,
yes,
food inflation?
Food inflation. Because the declaration for the state of emergency was on food security. So I want to limit my discussion to food.
Right.
Now, you remember also that the president or the government gave a window of zero tariff importation of some things into Nigeria to augment what was available in country. That took place. Many other efforts were made to be sure that, we ramped up what we had on ground. And so because of that, we had a small window of slow decrease in inflation. Now it is beginning to show up again.
Yes.
The Bureau of Statistics is saying that it's about 24% now. Now, I was not surprised. I was here and I told you that if you import and try to, make sure that food is affordable or available, you will get some form of respite. But that cannot be sustained. The best way is to be able to produce internally so that it will be available for a very long period of time, and you will be able to even save for a time when things are difficult. Absolutely. But mere importation will not work. I want to take you back to Japan, for instance. For many years, Japan had a lot of headway in technology and all that, if you remember. Yeah. All those small things, television sets and all were made in Japan. Yes. And they earned a lot of foreign exchange from...
They became a trusted name as far as...
But they were importing food. It was difficult for them to have a sustainable economy, because if you eat anything today, tomorrow you will go to the bathroom and then you will look for more.
You'll be hungry again.
So it is not sustainable.
Right.
The same thing, and by the same token, what happened in Nigeria for that period was allowed. As farmers, we did not protest, even though it could affect our gains. We didn't protest because we felt it was a necessary pill that had to be taken. But we have seen the limit of impact that we could have. Right. Now inflation is rearing its head. So the president is now saying, what he said is predicated on the several windows that have been opened. One of which was what you reported now. The country is now looking at an agricultural sector working group.
Right.
And this is long overdue. We've been talking about it. We had the
64-man.
Well, I am a member.
Right.
We were 62 there. I don't know where you got 64.
Okay.
But the point here is that is a very good step in the right direction, because there will be people who will look at what is happening. All the policies, all the windows that are opened will be looked at, dispassionately, and we will ensure that these things are implemented.
What is the time frame for this, working group to revert?
Well,
because I mean, if it's a state of emergency, there's no time to waste, is there?
Look, we are already working. We had the first, we were inaugurated today, and we had discussions. We have a term of reference, and we are talking with people. Donor organizations that are here are going to be charged to marshal whatever support they are giving to the food system, to the improvement of the food system. And we have been working on the food system from 2021, from the UN Secretary General, when everybody, because of the effect of COVID-19, every nation of the world had to look at its food system.
Well, let's narrow it down very quickly, because we don't really have all day. Let's quickly touch on this food inflation. What do you think is giving rise to it? Because of some few weeks ago, I bought, what we call atarodo, pepper, for the small dustbin basket for 3,000 naira. As at yesterday, it was 9,000 naira. What's giving rise to this?
Well, what is happening is that, it has started raining in some areas. And so once you produce these things in open fields, too much water affects it. And therefore, it's becoming less and less available. So, and this is almost cliche. Every year we go through this period, so I'm not surprised. I'm talking about maybe other things like maize, like cassava, like all those things. If inflation catches up with them, then I am saying to you that the best way to address the situation is to optimize productivity in country. And there are so many windows now.
How do you go about that?
Now, have you heard of the soil health card for all farmers?
Say that again.
Soil health card.
Soil health
card for all farmers. So you look at the soil, you look at what the soil requires, you impregnate it with the kind of fertilizers that are wanted, and you maintain the health of the soil so that you optimize the yield of produce, thereby increasing the total yield of the nation, and thereby making more food available, and it will now be affordable based on the simple laws of economics. So if you do that, you amplify the production of food everywhere, you will have enough to go around, and you will do it sectorially. Look at, we have 6 geopolitical zones, and we will identify whatever is staple in whatever zone we are talking about, and make sure that that production is optimized. Therefore, you will have a global food security in Nigeria. I know you are from the southeast. What is staple in the southeast?
Cassava, for example.
So we optimize production of cassava there, so that you will all be able to have what you want as staple. Nobody will impose whatever is staple in their place to your place. So when every section of the country does that, we will have global, in the terms of Nigeria, global food security. And that is the essence of looking at the soil conditions, making sure the soil maintains its health, and you use the right kind of fertilizers, and you now don't lose by putting generic fertilizers and all that. And
how important is it, transforming irrigation management in Nigeria?
Irrigation,
how important is that?
Very, very important. Irrigation, in fact, the president talks about irrigation is succinct to, everyday production. That is producing the year round, because you use dammed water, even groundwater, to be able to produce it. You can produce some of the crops 3 times in the year. So, and therefore you make the crops or the food available all year round. This is what happens in the countries that call themselves food secure. Take Netherlands, for instance. They use a lot of groundwater. Their income from agriculture is only second to that of the United States. The United States has more food than it requires. Therefore, it is always exporting. You can see what China is even doing now. It's trying to fight back on food.
Absolutely.
On food importation from the United States.
Wish we had all night to talk about so many things, including, commodities boards, the issue of wastage, silos, agric value chain, and what have you. Architect Kabir Ibrahim is President of Farmers Association of Nigeria and an agricultural specialist. Thank you so much. Always a delight to have you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.